be Envy, Gyro. Fata is going to be on that Storm Spirit. They have to grab a Bone 7 hero, and he's got such a wide variety. We've seen some decent Legion Commander play from him, but I don't know if that's going to be the hero he goes for. I'm not sure if they want to pick at this particular game, especially against the Bloodseeker. I'm not sure.
I was just gonna mention that because I know that when Cloud9 have picked Wisp, they like to pick Legion Commander because it makes it really easy to set up for a relocate gank. It's one of the easier ones, and they do it really well. Like, their coordination's very, very good with those particular heroes. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it at all. I don't think there's any problem with picking it into a Bloodseeker. In fact, I think it's quite good because if he ever Blood Rages himself and you get a little bit of damage on the LC, maybe, especially if you get a Blade Mail. Like, if you get Blink Blade Mail and Bloodseeker's Blood Rages himself, he's just dead. Like, extremely dead. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
We'll see. Cloud9, of course, their last pick will be coming up after NiP grabbed their last hero here. They got, Earthshaker, Winter Wyvern, Shadow Fiend. So that is going to be an offlane Earthshaker with a Wyvern Disruptor support duo, which is very interesting. We saw Smite play this yesterday. Actually played it very well too. Yeah, he actually wrecked.
He actually carried that game so hard.
I don't, again, I say this very often, I don't give praise to Mike easily a lot of the time just because of who he is. But he destroyed that game as the offlane Earthshaker. He definitely did carry. So the offlane Earthshaker has a lot of potential. And he should be okay. They do have lockdown with the Lion. They have the IO, of course, for the balls and the Gyrocopter. We can just run at him and essentially just try to zone him out. But I think the Earthshaker should be okay. And they can even do like a dual lane too if they want to, but I don't think that'll be the case.
I'm not quite sure. If they go straight up trialing with the Wisp, I think he'll have a really rough time because Gyro with the extra movement speed from Wisp is going to he's going to be able to be in range to Rocket Barrage him all the time, and it's just a lot of harass, and Earthshaker won't be able to get much. But then you have a kind of sacked mid lane against, first of all, Shadow Fiend versus Storm Spirit. I think Shadow Fiend already wins. It's just so good, and he's on Radiant side, so his positioning is a little bit easier. They're going to go with an offlane Zeus, it looks like. So yeah, there's that. So Shadow Fiend would already win that mid lane, but then he's probably going to get help and roam from like Winter Wyvern, who's just going to dive the Storm Spirit, and before Storm Spirit 6, he's don't forget that he is also a very, very slow hero. I think his movement speed's like 290, maybe even be 285. I know they actually nerfed it not too long ago, but like 5 or something.
Bone 7's playing the Storm Spirit this game.
Oh,
Foss on the Zeus, unless they decide to switch it up, which they certainly could. But they're throwing us for a curveball here, Trout. This is interesting to say the least. And I have to imagine this has to be a dual lane. Storm offlane solo doesn't seem particularly great against whatever NiP has. So,
I very strange.
IO Gyrocopter, safe lane, line, Storm, offlane, Zeus mid. I mean, unless they switch Fata off that Zeus, which is again a definite possibility. They might just be trying to keep going because they're confusing me, so we'll see what happens. At
this point, they could just solo the Storm against the he's walking bottoms. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe they could solo the Storm against the Earthshaker, and the Storm would probably win that lane because it's a melee against Storm, and then they would have an aggro tri-lane. But aggro tri-lane against Wyvern, Disruptor, Bloodseeker seems very, very scary. So is this just gonna be a straight up offlane Storm? I don't know, man. I'm not convinced.
Bone 7 is he's the meta man. We'll see how things turn out.
I think it's kind of like what we were talking about at the beginning. Like, just pick Storm after Bloodseeker. We'll figure it out eventually.
Yes. Just throw him in that lane, see what happens, hope for the best. I think that they're just gonna feed off him.
He might actually die.
He's not gonna go for the glimpse. He goes for the Thunderstrike. I think he should have maybe went for that glimpse early on. They would have been able to get that kill on Bone 7. They had the rotating over S skill, and they weren't able to grab the kill, unfortunately. That could have been a lot better coming out for NiP, but they won't be able to get the kill. Meanwhile, Tether across the way for no tail. Looks like they'll try to contest the top rune spot. We do have a pause. Looks like we might have some lag issues. So NiP are going to grab the bottom rune spot. That's going to be free skill. And then he'll probably rotate towards that mid lane. Silkid will, I think he warded up and now he's going to rotate bottom, which means that it is going to be an offlane Earthshaker. For the time being, he is going to be alone. So things are just settling into standard lanes, at least as standard as you can get them with an offlane Storm Spirit for now. So, all right, we'll see how this goes, man. This is gonna be interesting.
And he's bringing some regen out to himself right now. I thought that was kind of funny because He's like just was maybe debating whether he was going to get a solo matchup in 1v1 bottom or something. I don't know. But anyway, he's bringing himself out a Mango, a Tango, Mango, and a Clarity.
That's some regen that he's got going for him. I actually like the Mango pickup. I don't. More offlaners, I think, need to use the Mangoes, especially someone that's going to spam out with the Overload, with Remnant, obviously, just trying to get as much damage as possible, clear up the creep waves, CS as much as possible.
Yeah,
he has no way to escape, though, dude. Like,
I just don't know. I don't think if they play it correctly, he should get absolutely nothing in this bottom lane. Like, nothing. Yeah. He might get a really, really good block. I know that Bone7's one of the offlaners that's really, really good about blocking his lane. So, like, if he blocks it well, he should be able to get the creep wave, like, right around... Oh, I can't... Like, right around here. I can't actually do it correctly.
You draw the minimap. I see it. Right
okay.
Here.
Yeah, if he blocks well, he should get around there. Maybe leech, like... I don't think he can leech level 2 because chances are they're going to deny at least one creep, probably more, which means he won't get full level 2. But it's not like if he gets level 2, it's like, crap, he's got his, you know, it's like a Darkseer who hits level 2. It's like, crap, now he has Surge, now it's harder to kill him. It's like, all right, I got level 2, I'm still just as vulnerable as I was at level 1. So.
And it's going to be like that until he's level 6. And I doubt that NiP are going to let him get 6 freely, unless they decide to rotate and place emphasis on some of these other lanes, which is definitely a possibility, but they're actually going to rotate down bottom.
There we go.
And now they're looking like, okay, give the solo matchup to Bone7 top lane. We'll go for an aggro tri lane. I didn't think this was a possibility, but they're going to try to contest this bottom rune spot. eSkill has to back away. Steelkid will Arctic Burn. Misery will get chased down. No Tail will grab that bounty rune. Earthspike goes, but it's only under 1. Misery's still getting chased. There's the Thunder Strike. Can they get a raise up? Tether comes through. They get the first blood with the last bit of rage coming out from that beautiful raise. They even have the Blood Rage Hanskin. One more right click will do the job. Does he have the range for it? No Tail in trouble. He's going to eat the tree and gets the kill. NiP take 2. The bottom rune spot. Sure, you got that bounty rune and you bought the bottle, but you die for it. That's 2 for nothing coming up for NiP. Very interesting.
I don't think Misery needed to come back in for the stun. I think that the Wisp and the Gyro were just fine. It was actually a really nice attempt there from No Tail to go back and tether the line. I didn't think that raise was going to hit. I thought that raise was out of range. But it barely clipped him. It was so damn close. Nice try, though, still from No Tail.
Fisher coming out, Bone7. He should have an okay matchup, at least a lot better than what he was going to get bottom, so... Yeah, there's Fisher, there's Enchant Totem they have to deal with, but he should be fine otherwise. He has regen now to work with. Mid lane, they are going to try to rotate on Defata. They'll cancel the Clarity. They have Hanskin nearby. No Glimpse. He's almost level 2. He'll have it now. Level 1 Glimpse is pretty short range, so I don't know how much he's going to be able to get done. He has boots, though. He's just going to try to keep tabs on Fata here in this middle lane. Fata trying to get to that bottle. I think he is crowing it back. It actually already has it. And EE thinking about diving already. Era, of course, is right now solo in this lane. He is CSing just fine. He's got the Blood Rage. He'll now skill up the Thirst as well. And all the supports are just rotating elsewhere. Looks like they really want to put emphasis on either shutting down Bone7 or Fata in that top lane or mid lane.
Well, this disrupts their movement towards the mid. Doesn't look like they're going to get the kill, but he's basically giving a lot of free... gold and souls to the Shadow Fiend, which is obviously nice. And are they stacking too? Yes, they are stacking a little bit for him. So what are they trading? They're basically trading the Bloodseeker's free farm, which is important. But I think they're thinking that they can't. Oh, top lane actually. The stun totally whiffs.
They missed.
I don't know if it's going to make a difference. It looks like it is. It totally whiffs.
No Tail, and they get this kill. There's the Overload proc, and Yotis now try to go on Steelkid instead. Another Remnant popped up. They have the Overload proc, canceling the salve. They can't decide who to go on. No Tail trying to get Steelkid. Last right click will do the job. It gets the kill. Now the tether back through, breaks the tree line. They avoid the Enchant Totem. And that is a ball of light getting a double kill at 2.5 minutes. Now mid lane, rotations in. Arc Lightning gets the kill. Hex up on eSkill. He can't find the last raise. Can he get it done? He's got the long range one ready to go. Foxa thirsted up. They've got vision. There's the long range raise. And eSkill does get the turnaround kill mid. Misery not close enough to go for that Earth Spike. Wouldn't have had enough damage anyways. And so they will trade 2 for 1 across the map.
Yeah, he recognized that he had boots and Zeus didn't, so really pursued it. Nice play. I think that's Limp, correct? S skill on the Shadow Fiend.
No, that's E skill. That's a former what was that? Yeah, Coast Gaming player. That's right, of course. Yep. Thank you, Ben.
Okay. So, good job from him. Anyway, Yeah, that totally should have been a kill on the Star Spirit, but just a little bit of a blunder there from Shonason fan. Bottom lane, there's some action. NP is trying to be quite aggressive. Era, the Arctic Burn comes out, but it's not going to be the full duration of it. But it is slowing him just a little bit. Here comes the Wisp to help out.
They're actually going to send him back with the Glimpse, but Misery rotates in as well. Envy's low, but not dead yet. Blood Rage coming out onto Seal Kid. They'll turn this around. They've got Earth Spike in 5. They have the Hex up now, ready to go. Seal Kid's just going to walk right around the corner. He says, I don't think so. I'm not getting hit up by no line. Envy is going to regen up fully with, of course, No Tail giving him the bottle charges with the tether coming through. So that'll keep him up fighting fit. And they put another ward here. It looks like they do have vision of it with this Sentry Ward. It should get countered. They'll try to zone out Hanskin so he can't quite get there. They'll chase after Seal Kid as well. Seal Kid might be in some trouble here. And Envy just might just run in Rocket Barrage at this point. No Arctic Burn is up. However, he's doing a nice job using the fog to his advantage. He will stay alive. Envy's still diving under the tower. Era coming back in to help out if necessary. Bottom lane is just kind of run at you for Cloud9. It seems to be working.
Yeah, if they're able to somehow pressure the tower, it'll be really, really good. Right now, they are heavily winning the lane. Bloodseeker's not getting much, but if they don't get an objective out of this, and if they have to rotate and leave Envy down here, then that's when I've seen so many times that the lane that's supposed to win just lose. Era taking some damage. He gets Hex, and I think this one is going to be his death.
He had the Blood Rage on him. He'll take some extra Spirit Balls to the face, and of course, he misses the Blood Right. Envy gets a full Rocket Barrage, and that's an easy kill. They're going to dive past the tower, cut the creep wave, and put some pressure on this tier 1. All the meanwhile, Bone7, who we thought was going to have a terrible time in that particular lane down bottom, has 36 last hits. Of course, I'm sure some of this is jungle CS, but that's still fantastic. And that's only 25 for E-skill in the mid lane. That's pretty great for Bone7 top right now.
It's really, really good. And the fact that he is the most important hero on the team against specifically the Bloodseeker, who really actually isn't even having that great of a time at all, so it doesn't even matter. But if he was, then they've secured that their good hero is getting tons of farm. So Bone7 doing really, really well for himself.
They will rotate mid. They will at least secure a kill for them on the Zeus. Of course, Winter Wyvern getting that kill. Skill being a part of it. Has 23 Necromancer stacks, has his Treads and Bottle up to go. He'll probably be going for that very early... I think Mech is probably the right choice this game, as it always is now on Shadow Fiend. It seems to be the go-to. We've seen rules before. We've seen other choices, but should still be just fine. They really want this tier 1 bottom, and Era is going to deny it. They got the tower. It's denied at the end. They won't get that extra bit of gold, but what are you going to do?
Nice deny. It's a pretty good mitigation of extra gold for C9. Shadow Fiend, how's he doing? He's 2-0, 32 CS, so it's pretty much their saving grace on this team as far as farm goes. He's actually walking around. He picks up an Invis rune. One raise, couldn't get the second one in time. Nice quick reaction there from Misery.
Bone7's already level 6 and he's coming to the fight, and E-skill is in trouble. Bloodright will go through, but will they get it onto any of these heroes? In fact, they get it on 3. Doesn't matter. Envy comes in, they get the Spirit Balls, they find the Wyvern, who is up on the high ground, and suddenly Cloud9 are taking over the enemy jungle. They've already gotten that tier 1 tower bottom. They want to put pressure on this tier 1 tower mid, and without the Shadow Fiend's raises, it's a bit difficult to defend if they do decide to push in, but it's a little bit early. He's going to respawn in about 6 seconds. But the thing is, Bone7 is going to take one of the stacks with the help of No Tail and Envy. This is a lot of gold going the way of Cloud9, a lot of gold lost for NiP. Oh god, cooldown's going to come. They'll ball letting in further. They're looking for E-skill again. He can't afford to die twice, but he's going to. Fisher will come out. Echo Slam. Envy's going to go down. Bone7. They've got the overcharge up. They've got the Arctic Burn as well. He's thirsted. He only has 5-6 charges. Splinter Blast will do the job. No Tail has got tether in 3 seconds. Zeus will fly through. Everyone getting a bit low. Big Daddy looking to try to tether away. The last right click. It's the Fisher, just the tip of it, that Jonas gets the kill with, and he gets the double. The Echo Slam coming in. He's up to 1,200 gold, and he finally turns things around for NiP, who were on a roll, literally.
Yeah, it's a really good surge of gold for the Earthshaker, who unfortunately had that little misstep in the beginning, but now he's actually well on his way towards his blink. Really nice Echo Slam from him, but they just kind of invited him to come there. They were a little bit deep, getting a little aggressive. They did get that extra kill on the Shadow Fiend, but is a little too aggressive.
That's one of those situations you see the Earthshaker walking in, and it's like in slow motion. You're like, oh shit, there's an Earthshaker there. We're gonna get Echo Slammed. There's not much you can do about it in that situation. Like you mentioned, too aggressive coming up from Cloud9. They'll play a bit further back now, putting more pressure on the tier 1. Just have a creep wave going in. This is going to mean Jonas is going to get... Oh, he went Arcanes, by the way, so he's not going to grab his early Blink Dagger. It'll take some time before he gets that. Envy's alone bottom. They have Glimpse level 2. Rupture's going to go. They'll glimpse him back. Kinetic Field goes as well. Rocket Barrage, no. It's going to be the call down first. Hanski does get up with the first hit. But Envy is just going to stand still. He has no TP for 10 seconds. Rocket Barrage will go. Air taking a lot of damage. They're coming in. E-Skill is going to try to turn this. Arctic Burn now used. Splinter Blast not connecting. Envy trying to run as fast as he possibly can. Raise 1 will miss. Now the Kinetic Field misses as well. Will he go for the TP? Relocate bottom. Zuso flies out. Will they turn this? Bone 7 is going to go right in. They need a pull. They'll find it. No TP for you, E-Skill. Bone 7 and No-Tail coming to the rescue of Envy. Now they'll push into that tower bottom. Might just rotate back out towards the jungle. They will do so. And Bone 7 goes back to farming the jungle.
Yeah, NiP are just getting really outplayed, and the whole interaction between the Blood Rage is actually kind of working against him. So he's Blood Raging the gyro, and then now all his spells are pumped up. Yes, he takes more damage, but there were no extra creeps around him, so he knew if he ran backwards into him, that Rocket Barrage was just going to eat him alive. And so he actually couldn't do that. Envy just smartly just stood there, didn't run away, didn't need to, and then bought some time for the relocate to come out. So really nicely played there from C9.
Yeah, the relocate, and they clearly weren't equipped to deal with it. Winter Wyvern was not there. He's not level 6 yet. Look at Seal Kid, man. Level 4, almost level 5. They've got to do something to get him some levels, because you need that Winter's Curse desperately when the relocates do come in. Not only that, but they just need farm in general. E-Skill has died like 3 or 4 times. He was having a great time. He's at Tread's bottle, and he's been there for the past couple of minutes. So they have to find farm for him. Bloodseeker's got to find farm. He's barely got almost a full Aquila. That's it, man. Like, they have nothing really going for them at this point.
Yeah, and that's not where you want to be in Shadow Fiend. Normally, right now, you're pretty close to your mech, or if not even have it, if you're having a really, really good game. He's only got 50 CS. I hear a zip, actually. It's towards the mid lane.
Yeah, Bone 7 was just harassing. All right, there's a double damage rune bottom. They will find that for the Shadow Fiend, more than likely. Call down bottom. Envy is trying to run in on his own. They relocate in. That's what they were looking for. They'll glimpse back Bone 7, I believe. So Envy's now alone with the IO behind him and about to relocate out in 4 seconds.
Can take the gyro.
He's going to tether him, I think, yeah, and they're just going to get out of here. Fisher comes, but it's a bit too late. They didn't even get stunned with the Fisher. It looked like they might have, but that's not the case. They find an easy kill, and they're going to push the tier 1 tower mid. So they're just out-rotating NiP right now. NiP are going to get less and less room to farm, and C9 are putting more and more pressure across the map. It seems very difficult to deal with.
One of the great things about relocating with Storm is, I thought we might see some action here in mid. The Glyph comes out. Another TP, a secondary TP actually, so the Disruptor actually tried to deny, doesn't get it. And then action, the Rocket Barrage onto him, but he does get glimpsed back, so that's just going to be a tower kill, and then maybe they push to look towards to push top. But one of the nice things about relocate with Storm is that you can relocate anywhere in the area, because it can be a little bit scary relocating with an Earthshaker around, or even the Winter Wyvern, but you can keep your distance when you have a Storm, because obviously you want to have that little extra distance so you have extra damage from your Ball Lighting. They're going to smoke, they're going to wrap around top, it looks like. Zip in, a little bit off the mark, but they can still get him.
They're going to find him anyways. With the Earth Spike, Finger comes out from Israel. That's a lot of hatred for that Earthshaker. They really don't want him getting his Blink Dagger. And he's been getting close. Bottom lane, TP out. Air was trying to go onto the Zeus. Fanta has been relatively quiet. He's not really been a part of these ganks other than him pressing his R button. And it doesn't need to be part of these fights. Cloud9 are doing just fine without him. He's 30 net worth right now. They'll grab another tier 1 tower top more than likely. And he's going to call down Seal Kid, who has no idea this is coming. Rocket Barrage, full duration. Envy gets an easy solo kill. He'll head right towards that top lane to help them finish off this tier 1 tower. This is looking real bleak, man. And NiP are in, I would call this a very uncomfortable situation, and that's putting it mildly. They're even going to relocate mid. Zeus ult, E-Skill's going to come out. Bone 7's going to get jumped on. There's going to be the pull coming out from the Storm Spirit. Bloodbright will not connect. And they're going to find Hanskin as well. The Lightning Bolt to get vision. Hanskin, Rocket Barrage will bring him down. They're just dying everywhere across the map. Nowhere is safe, Trow.
This is getting out of control, man. They're playing it really, really well, though. You have to hand it to C9. Like, their draft has really come together. I mean, it looked a little bit weird at the beginning just because we thought it was going to be an offlane Storm Spirit. maybe they thought that they were going to go aggro on NiP, and that's why. Because the second they knew their lanes, they swapped them around immediately. So, TP incoming from the Disruptor. Maybe they can get the glimpse onto the Zeus.
Ready to go.
Zeus standing his ground, trying to make the best out of a bad situation, but I think he is going to die.
This will provide Hanskin the level 6 finally, which him and Silkid finally do hit up to that level 6 mark, and maybe they have a bit of a better time fighting now. It's still going to be a while before they can be, you know, anywhere close to what C9 is, which is got a lot of items, got a lot of damage. They might not defend this tier 1 tower as Bone 7 is bottom. He does have a TP scroll, saving up for what I imagine to be a Bloodstone with 2,000 gold in the bank. See if they go for this tier 1 tower top lane. They're posturing for it. They're in a really good position here for NiP. They have E-skill out front. They have the Static Storm ready to go. Fisher's been used. Envy now in the tree line. He's got a buckler, interestingly enough. It's not something you see every day on a gyrocopter. They'll push into the tower. And here's the call down. They're going to try to fight this TP coming in. Earth Spike. Static Storm's going to go right onto Fonza. Bloodright will go as well. Winner's Curse out of No Tail. They will take down E-skill. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Envy's alone. Zeusel comes out. Can Envy take all of them down? No. Ball lighting. Bone 7 finally comes in. Gets glimpsed away. Pull comes through on Yodas. Do they have enough damage? Earth Spike goes. Misery needs one more right click, and that'll do the job. Fonza gets the double kill as he chases down someone else up towards that top area. It gets Hanskin as well. And the only hero to get away is Era in that engagement. That was not a bad fight for NiP, but Cloud9 were ready, and they clearly defend their tower and have an excellent fight on top of it.
That was a nice pull from Bone 7 right before he got glimpsed back. And if you look at his skill build, he actually went 2-3. It's very different than you see most Storms do. They usually like to max Static Remnant just because it does, you farm a lot faster with it, but the pull is nice in its own right too, because it just gives you so much more control in fights when you need that extra stun. So, really nice. Blink coming out from Fata and the Blink coming out from Misery at the same time, but they're actually not able to get the kill onto him just yet. Solo relocate from the Wisp. Storm comes in from the backfield. Arrow's in trouble. He gets pulled. He's dead. Bone 7 on a dominating streak. 4 seconds. No, the Wisp is actually going to pull.
Bone 7 now in trouble, but here comes Envy. Rocket Barrage call down does miss. Fata's still alive. Lightning Bolt in 3. Jonas looking for maybe a Fisher. It's on cooldown for 6. And somehow that turns into a 3-for-3 despite that heavy dive. Bone 7 expended all of his mana just trying to go for that kill on the Hanskin. Might not have been worth it. Io relocated behind the tower. He was the one to secure the kill. So some aggressive play from Cloud9. Did they get the tower is the big question. I can't even tell. I'm not sure. There's been too many kills since then.
That's your completed mech for your gyrocopter. Not something you see every day.
That is a mech on gyro. Mock packs, if we could see the stats for that item on that particular hero, that'd be fantastic. But I'm sure there's not many, if at all.
It's obvious, and there's the mech actually coming out from the Shadow Fiend, and he must have got a streak or something, or some kind of kill. He got 2 kills, and he ended the Storm Spirit Tommy. Okay, I was like, because he didn't have his mech, and then all of a sudden he has a mech plus 1,000, so he actually got a pretty good surge of gold there. ES almost has a blink 5 times ever. Oh, I'm actually surprised it's even 5, to be honest.
Yeah, I was thinking 1. This would be the first one, maybe 2. That's it's some weird company to be keeping. I wonder if Envy was the one to do it in those five games. I doubt it. This just seemed, this is so weird.
I'm actually really more surprised at well, not more surprised, but I think Wisp should really get boots. I know he might think he doesn't need him because he can just tether it around, but it's really annoying sometimes trying to keep up with your target that you're tethered when you're so slow and they're, you know, exponentially faster than you.
Ow.
So it often breaks, especially on a hero like Gyrocopter who's already very, very quick. Like he runs at 365.
Well, he disagrees. He's going for a Glimmer Kick. He has to close.
I know, I've seen him do this before. It's just kind of a little bit strange to me just because you can break the tether quite frequently, but he plays the Wisp so much, I can't question him because his Wisp play is really phenomenal.
Both spot the AK twice. Misery. Interesting. Envy gonna get caught out. Static Storm. He's got that mech. He's gonna have to use it here pretty soon. He'll get it off. Last right click will do the job for Arrow. Ball lighting. Backside. Steelkid in trouble. They get the Winner's Curse off. They're getting the Remnants going through as well as the Overload. Steelkid. Cold Embrace comes in. There's the Requiem. E-skill though. Last right click. Bone 7 gets it done. Relocate out. There's the long range Earth Spike. Bone 7 will clean it up. Echo Slam on it too. Jonas is gonna clean this up. Bone 7 out of mana. They have glimpse. They're gonna use. They're gonna bring him back. Aaron needs his kill. They'll give him the triple. That turns into a 3-for-2 trade coming out for NiP. The first fight they've won. They had to relocate out Fata and No Tail. They did so, but that was, of course, going to leave Cloud9 out to dry. Envy getting caught out first. His mech came through. It was a bit too late. Misery with a good Earth Spike, and Bone7 going in a bit too deep. But Era now starting to pick up the pace here. Starting to become that carry as he's got his Blade Mail and a Mithril Hammer coming out.
Could they be bouncing back in this game? This is crazy stuff. I will say that the Earthshaker is going to be doing a ton in these fights with this blink now. And actually, he's in a little bit of trouble. Here comes a nice blink in from Misery as soon as he comes back. Finger coming out. Zeus uses the lightning bolt to KS there. And I think he's going to go towards... Is this going to be an Octarine or a Bloodstone? It looks like a Bloodstone just because he has the Soul Ring too.
Also have to remember Axe is a possibility. I don't know if that's the case, but...
Could be.
Early Octarine core is interesting. I just think early Bloodstone is just it's so much more common. And not that I have anything against early Octarine core. It's just that's not something I see very often. He has the Soul Ring, so I'm imagining he's going to be going for that Bloodstone. Speaking of Bloodstone, Bone7 just picked his up. And it probably could have been earlier.
Probably.
To be honest with you. He has fought a little too aggressively these past couple of engagements.
Thing about Bloodstone timing here on Storm is if, like, the early you get it, if you start fighting and you're already winning the team fights, if you win that one big team fight right after your Bloodstone, it just becomes so much easier because then you have all that mana regen with the extra charges. So this next team fight is very important for C9.
They're relocating. The TP's gonna come in. No Tail doesn't bring anybody in though. Jonas is low. They won't grab the kill. Calldown's gonna fly through. E-Skill does have that next. Zeus will fly. Steel Kid Winter's Curse. No Tail will fall first. They've got the blood right up. Bone7's gonna get silenced twice. He's gonna lose his charges. Fisher comes out. They've already maxed him. He can't use his wand. 5 Bloodstone charges and now Envy is alone. He's going right to town on that Blade Mail. Gets raised up. It is a 3-for-0 trade. NiP have turned it around drastically, and they are not done. They want Misery. They're chasing after him. I don't think Jonas will find him. He's got the blink. He has no vision as to where Misery is, but they're completely fine with that. They take 3 heroes, 3 big heroes. That's huge for NiP. That's fantastic.
Oh man, the comeback is real. They're just getting a little bit sloppy here. The TP coming in from Bone7, the Storm Spirit. He's looking for Seal Kid. Does the Remnant actually find him? He is going to search him out, find him out. It's actually Arctic burning his way through the trees. Is he going to get away? He's got 10 seconds left on his TP. He's making him work for it.
Oh my god.
That's for sure. The ball's
will hit.
No, the ball's not good. Okay, we're going to find him.
Bone7 will find him eventually. Walking through that back path, they will throw up the Cold Embrace. He'll throw up the Cold Embrace, but he still will die. That was a lot of time wasted. Bone7 gets 1 Bloodstone charge for that.
I thought they were going to stop looking because, like, the balls, they were going outer, and they didn't find him, so they, like, started to bring him in. I was like, oh my god, are they going to stop looking for him? But they did find him eventually. But they made him work for it.
You talk about that first big fight with the Bloodstone. You talked about going one direction and went the completely opposite direction. And when that happens, it's really rough. You need those Bloodstone charges to be effective. 6 Bloodstone charges is not nearly enough. Not even close, really. So they'll try to close the gap with a Roshan attempt and getting an Aegis for Envy more than likely, who is sitting on nothing. He just has the Ogre Club and Max.
Yeah, I think he actually probably could have denied himself too in the last engagement, but they do at least bounce back. He's got an extremely high level in his Storm, so he's level 15. This is going to be an Aegis, presumably for the Storm. Yep, he takes that. Unfortunately, he has to drop his bottle, so someone will take that. Misery looks like he's going to get a free bottle. BKB almost on the Shadow Fiend. That's really, really important, especially against the Zeus. They really need this BKB on Bloodseeker too. Yeah, he's working towards his. When they get these BKBs on NiP, they're going to hit a new stride of strength in their team fight.
They don't have that kind of control that comes with a Winter's Curse. You know, they just... That's something they really need. Something that pierces that match community. I mean, obviously, Storm getting the jump is going to be great, but... they'll try to push bottom. Tier 1 tower is going to get Cliff top lane. Bone7's here alone, so this is kind of scary. Flotsam will finish up his Bloodstone, so that's great. They'll trade tier 2 for tier 1, and I think they're not even trading. NiP are very, very frightened right now. They do have an Observer Ward. They know exactly where Bone7 is standing. Do Salt just to make sure they have some vision, and Bone7 can now freely farm top lane, knowing exactly where NiP are heading. They're backing up down bottom. Glyph's going to come through, multiple TP rotations. Envy needs to leave. Jonas and Fan, Glyph's back in. Do they have a relocate out? No Tail. Will he get it off? He will. Nicely done. Lightning Bolt, Zeus ult not available. Finger comes out. Good mech. Bonus will stay alive. And
maybe kill the Wisp.
Yeah, this is a dead Wisp.
Maybe. Oh, nice.
Good Winter's Curse. A sure kill. But Bone 7 is putting a lot of pressure on top while this is all happening.
I would say it's still worth it for C9 because they got the tower bottom. It was denied, which is kind of important to note. Fata with that new Bloodstone, he blinks into the trees, can deny himself if he needs to. But Bone 7 is pushing top, so there's a space created. He's put a lot of damage on this tier 2 tower up top. And they can't really threaten a kill with him without the Winter's Curse not off cooldown. I guess maybe if Earthshaker was up there ready to go, but I think he needs help. And even then, bursting him down before he gets the Bloodstone denied doesn't really seem possible. And he's got an Aegis too, so.
Yeah, the Aegis is the big part. He's working on his BKB now. So he's going for a more defensive build. He won't have the attack speed of an Orc Malevolence, nor will he have the damage. He won't have the sight coming out either, so Bone 7 won't be heading as hard for a period of time, but that's fine. He's already doing pretty well for himself. A lot of the damage is going to be coming from the magic of the Gyrocopter as well as Fata, but that will be stifled once these BKBs are completed. Era's going to have his right now. BKB's done. Looking at the BKB for his skill, he's got it as well. And it might be NiP's time. It was their time beforehand, maybe with these comebacks, but Cloud9 have to be very careful with how they take these engagements. Maybe they can get a pick to start things off, then progress further, but they even have 2 Glimmer Capes, one on Hanskin, the other, of course, on Jonas. All right. NiP are in a solid position right now. This game was looking awful for them at, like, what?
Yeah.
10 minutes, 15 minutes into the game? Not anymore.
I mean, it's still, I still think C9 are obviously in the driver's seat, and the net worth would reflect that, but they have their new, like, they have their core items now, finally, for NiP, so they were actually winning fights without him. We'll see if they can continue to maybe win fights with them. Fata, he's up top. He's actually showing himself. He needs to be a little bit careful, because if he gets glimpsed, he can die. So, and he is going to back all the way back.
Does have an invis rune as well. Still has the 8 Bloodstone charges. So Cloud9 were the ones emphasizing putting pressure on towers, trying to find pickoffs with relocate ganks, and they did a great job of that for the first 15 minutes. Now realizing that they don't have that potential with BKBs as much anymore, they're playing a bit more passive and defensive. And Era, well, he's going to be the one that's on the aggressive, looking for Fata. Glimpse, there's the Rupture as well. He'll try to TP. They already used the Glimpse. Can they get this kill? Absolutely not. They glimpse too quickly. Fata with the heads up play with a TP scroll. They'll lose the tier 1 tower for it. Zeus will fly through, relocate. They'll find Jonas. Earthspike comes in. They get the figure. They don't even need Envy or Big Daddy No Tail, but they get the kill anyways. Now they smoke up after getting that BKB that just flew out on the courier. Hanskin will get vision. He's up at the high ground, glimpse back onto Envy, bringing him back down to the river. Bone 7 alone, forces out the BKB. TP coming out. Bone 7 will not stay and fight this. He'll fight the creep wave instead. All right. Good turnaround coming out from Cloud9 there, getting at least 1 kill out of that.
Oh, they know Era's over here. Misery does have a Bleak Hex if they want to pursue this, but he doesn't have fingers, so they have to make sure they have more support coming in as terms of DPS to actually get this kill. But they do have the potential. So we'll see. 5 members are now migrating over here near this ward that they just placed. They thought they placed a ward at this hill, but it's not actually there. But I think they can fight as soon as the Earthshaker's up. They just need to not die immediately to this like Blink Hex combo from the Lion. Yeah,
and Earthshaker is going to respawn in 5 seconds. He will have a TP at his ready. So I don't know if Envy and Cloud9 will push into this. I'm pretty sure they're just going to back up and continue to farm. Roche is not up for 4 minutes. They're going to smoke, though. NiP are on the hunt. They will not find Envy. He TP's bottom. Everyone else is in the river. Misery will TP as well. No Tail is very slow. Still without boots. He can tether up to Bone 7 if possible. And he's actually maybe the target they're looking for. He's got his BKB, but they have Winter's Curse. Can they lead in with it is the question. Arctic Bird might come out. Now Bone 7 knows it's coming. Ball lightning's away. Zeus ult flies through, and it's just a bit too late. No Tail does get glimpsed back, but that is a consolation prize. They really wanted Bone 7 there. They couldn't quite find him, though.
Yeah, I think it's because like there was a tree missing here, so as soon as the smoke broke, they could actually see through it. Could have been also a remnant that saw, but nice quick getaway there from Storm, and it ends up being only a Wisp kill, so it could have been way better for NiP.
All right. Blink, Echo Slam, Fata. They've got the blood right there. Don't even need it. Last right click, Air comes in, gets the KS real quick. And that's a great Echo Slam coming through. Bloodstone now down to 5 charges. These Bloodstones haven't really been paying off for Cloud9. He does have 3,000 gold, but they're going to lose this tier 1 tower now. I mean, Envy probably throws up the call down here and tries to defend this, but still. Bloodright will go. They'll be on top of Envy. The call down will push this back. It's a pretty short cooldown. Misery does blink in, clear up the creep wave. And they still are too afraid to fight this. Where?
Still only 6 plus charge on this storm. Just we've seen a drop off in terms of aggression from both teams, and that always hurts the team that builds the Bloodstones because they want the charges. Especially on the Storm Spirit, and especially when you have a Wisp on your team. So NiP has been a really, really good job about, excuse me, bouncing back into this game. Gem now picked up on the Wisp. Gonna give that to somebody on his team, I imagine, because his item slots are full.
Yeah, the Gem is going to be huge. They have some really good aggressive wards coming out from NiP. This ward here, and obviously this ward is about to fall anyways. Just for making sure that they take all of the map control away from NiP, which is something they could have done maybe when they had that big advantage. They didn't want to invest in the Gem, obviously. It was a little bit too early for that. Roche respawning pretty soon, hopefully. Cloud9 needs something to get going for them. For NiP, what is Bloodseeker building now? He's got 2.8 gold, 2.8k gold rather. We don't know exactly what he's going for yet. Glimmercape's not done for Steel Kid. Goes for the Basher, interestingly enough, for Era. So wants to keep people in place. We'll go for an Abyssal Blade eventually. Goes through that BKB. This is a good choice, I think, coming out from NiP.
Yeah, there is a DD rune bottled up for the Gyrocopter, which could make a big difference in the next fight. And he gets a really nice flak cannon off with all the heroes showing. So we'll see. The Wisp did give us bottle to him for that. Who is holding the gem? I want to see. It's Misery. Okay, Misery on the line, who actually has a 4-staff now too. So had a rocky start at that level 1 rune engagement, but has bounced back very, very nicely for himself with the Lion, which is one of the most important heroes on this lineup because he's basically the real initiator. You don't really think of Storm as like a real initiator. He kind of follows up on the initiation, unless it's super late game and you can find those long range, like spending 2,000 mana zips to kill one hero. Yeah. But other than that, in terms of like team fight initiation, it's pretty much going to be the Lion.
Is interesting. It's kind of like an Earthshaker, sort of, in the way Jonas is going to be functioning. If he finds a blink, Echo Slam initiation. The same could be said for the line blinking or spiking, finding that initiation. So it's kind of on them, I think. Whereas Witcher's Curse also is a pretty good initiation tool. Glimpse Back In is a great initiation tool. Cloud9 don't have that potential, like you mentioned. Zip, sure, but they don't really want to try to find a fight. They want to push in and try to take this tower, make them uncomfortable, get map control, back up, take Roche. They'll do their best at that. They are kind of grouped up here. They need to be careful. Roche is going to respawn. E-skills coming in. Jonas is going to TP as well. Maybe looking for a Blink Echo Slam of his own. Cloud9 sitting back behind the tree line. Arrow will continue to farm top while this is all happening, not trying to... He doesn't want to get forced to TP mid if he doesn't have to. He wants to continue to farm, and he's doing a nice job of it.
So Arrow goes for the Basher, which I think is fine, but the only problem is his attack speed is very, very low. So if he's able to get the space and this game starts going a little bit later, they actually spot him out. They don't choose to relocate. He does have BKB, and he does have the Winter Wyvern behind him too. Oh, they actually could be in trouble now. They place a ward. Seal Kid, I think, might die.
They're going to walk right into this. Hex is up on the Arrow. Can they bring him down? Rock Rush. Good cold embrace. Trigger comes out the zip in. Arrow is still alive. Winter's Curse on the no-tail. They'll take up Seal Kid. Now they get the kill on the Arrow as well. Great observer ward placement coming out from Misery there. And now they can actually maybe pressure mid, maybe take Roche. They have a lot of options here. There's no buyback for Arrow. Not that they'd want to use it right now anyways. Okay. All right, Cloud9 get a 4-2 in this turn of events. Maybe they can take a tier 2 out of this.
You see this Blink Hex for Lion is just a direct counter to this BKBs, which, don't get me wrong, NiP definitely needs. You can't just not get a BKB this game, but the Lion is so important for this team fight of C9, or not even team fight, but just picking people off. It makes it so damn easy. Yeah. He's just showing again, like Lion has kind of seen a little bit of a fall off, but man, I don't know. This is kind of showing you why, or why you're making you ask the question why, because this hero is so damn good. Yeah,
this hero has always been pretty good and continues to be so strong in this particular series. Misery is hitting all the right abilities, 1 through 11. Speaking of Misery, he'll find his skill. I don't know if they get the skill. He's going to get Glimmer Caped up by Jonas, and they'll back away. They don't even get the tier 2 tower, by the way, that they were pressuring top lane. Era does respawn. They'll group up together with Cloud9 back towards mid. They'll push into the mid lane. Roche is now available if they want to go for it. Jonas looking for potential jump in on the high ground, won't go for it. Era TP's in a bit too late. And Cloud9 go back to their own devices, continue to farm. I don't know, man. There was a great turnaround for NiP, but Cloud9 realized that if they try to take these 5-on-5 engagements and they're out of position or they use their abilities or items too quickly, and suddenly NiP turn things around. So they're more focused on, I think, getting pickoffs and splitting up and farming, and that seems to be working well for Cloud9. But at some point, they have to push into these towers and eventually take these objectives, which they're not doing.
Yep, and this Zeus is really farmed. I think he's the top net worth in the game, actually. BKB freshly purchased up. They actually see him. He blinks forward. Do they actually maybe go for him? It's kind of an awkward situation. They are going to go for him. No ulti coming up from the disruptors and BKBs.
Era's going to chase after him. Ball lightning in. They're going to find his skill. Glimmer KP was about to Requiem. Seal Kid now is going to be the choice. No, it's Hanskin. Bone 7 continue to go for him. There's the pull in. Bone 7 now up on the high ground. Zeus flies. Not dead yet. Lightning Bolt still alive. The Urd keeps him up and fighting. Seal Kid will not be so lucky. Envy did get ruptured. Ball lightning in. They really want Hanskin. They can't find him. E-Skill is going to be able to TP away. Much ado about nothing in that team fight. How did nothing really break out there? Lots of BKBs used, lots of abilities used. Only one dead hero, a Wyvern? You kidding?
I thought that was going to go way worse for NiP. The fact that they only lost one hero is a blessing for them, honestly. It was a really awkward situation and area to fight, and they actually get the blink stun onto Envy. Pops the BKB, call down coming in. There's the Hex coming out for Misery again, with the Yules coming actually out.
Requiem, he doesn't have BKB, but they get the damage reduction. Doesn't matter, double Requiem as he dies and explodes. Unfortunately, he's still going down there. That's a big kill. BKB for Envy coming out at a perfect time. Mech keeping up him alive. Black Cannon, they have, of course, the Fisher. Bloodright will go. Rupture not available. I don't believe it is actually available, but they're not going to use it. Era's just going to speed his way back to the base. And Courier is currently sitting at the secret shop. I think it's getting Envy's butterfly as we speak. That's nice. That's pretty nice. He doesn't have the full butterfly just yet. He's getting pretty close. Surprised they haven't. I feel like they should head back and Roche right now. No E-skill for 35 seconds. They have plenty of time to take this. Maybe they just want to push up the lanes first, I think is what Cloud9 are doing.
Yeah, they probably could have gotten a Roshan, but the problem I see here is like NiP wants to initiate the fights with like a glimpse, and it's just not as effective as like a blink hex from Lion. They can initiate also maybe with Earthshaker, but he's a similar story to like a Storm. You usually want to wait until the fight breaks out so that you can buy time for heroes to clump up and get a better Echo Slam. Starting out an initiation with a Fisher is a little bit awkward and a little bit inconsistent. But as you can see, like they're trying to start it all off with a glimpse, but it just isn't going to work, especially now that they have 2 BKBs. Actually, they have 3 BKBs because of the Zeus. Now a Butterfly completed for the Gyrocopter, which is great. I was going to say that if they can get the farm and the time for Bloodseeker, he should definitely get a Butterfly himself, but they've just lost the last 3 engagements, so it's going to be a long time till he sees a new item.
I think it's not only they've lost the last 3 engagements, they've lost map control. Do they still have this gem? I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah, this gem has been very crucial for Cloud9 and their game plan. They've taken down almost every ward that they possibly can. They've gotten map control. They've made it very uncomfortable. NiP made their home top to farm there because that was the safest place for them to farm. They died a couple of times, and now they're forced to go for a play like this. They smoke up, they'll be behind S-Skill, they'll look for potential target, and Envy, who does have his full BKB, they really don't want to walk uphill. That's the last thing they want to do without vision, especially when they just got counter-warded. So instead, they'll wrap all the way around. Cloud9 seem to know this, as Misery draws a line in exactly where NiP have headed, and now Cloud9 will rotate and look to be in position, posture up for a potential Roche fight, or fight around the Roche pit, rather.
Their smoke is wearing out, so they're going to get spotted by this illusion.
Yeah, this illusion. Yep, there it is. That illusion is going to pay off nicely. Now, the question is, do Cloud9 want to initiate on this? And it looks like the answer is no. Oh, they do. They're going to smoke up. Misery will lead the way. Huge. Jonas is on the high ground, though. He'll break a smoke if he comes in. Misery, they know. They have an Observer Ward, and they, of course, will find Hanskin, though, with the Zeus coming up. Bloodright, Bone 7 doesn't give a damn. He's got his BKB on. Envy not using his yet. Mech's going to go through. He's still ruptured up. There's going to be a mech going through. Hanskin gets the Static Storm off before he dies. Kinetic Field doesn't connect. He's still getting chased down. Overload going through from Bone 7. Trying to fight 2 at once. Seal Kid manning up. There's the call down. Bone 7 out of mana. Regenning it quickly, though. They will get this kill. They do bring him down even through that cold embrace. Now, relocating down to Era. Blood Right will come through. No Tail on Bone 7. He's got his usage of that Blade Mail. BKB, they'll bring down No Tail, but he can do this all his own. I don't think so. Now the Requiem comes out. BKB popped up for his skill, and V has to leave. He pops his own BKB. He floated away, uses his stick charge. He'll TP up onto the high ground. Bone 7 picking up the Endbin's Rune. Jonas coming back in. Ball lighting further. Bone 7 gets the kill on the Era. Out of mana though. Fata might need to help him out here. Cancels the animation. Lightning bolt, but Bone 7 still in trouble. He's got that deny if necessary. Yules comes out from Fata. Jonas cannot find the initiation on Bone 7. He really needs to think about denying himself and will commit suicide right next to Eskil and Jonas. That turns into a pretty even fight actually when it comes down to it. It's about a 4-for-3 trade, I think, in favor of Cloud9, but they did get the deny off on Bone 7, so it is still in favor of the Dire roster.
And Fawcett's doing a really good job about not only just pumping out tons of damage consistently, but canceling blinks as much as he can. And he did that the entire fight there. He actually had to use the Yules onto the Zeus just so he could spend a little bit extra time to get that blink cooldown off for Earthshaker. And by the time it was up, it was too far away from the storm. So there was no chance of stun locking him, so he couldn't get the Bloodstone deny. So nicely played from Fata there. Went for the Boots of Travel. Now it looks like he's got a point booster, so an Ags or potentially an Octarine. I think Octarine is really, really good on Zeus.
Yeah,
but either wouldn't surprise me.
He's going to TP away. He wants to go back home.
Probably Ags then.
We'll see. He has enough money for it if he wants to buy it.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be an Octarine then.
Yeah, he's not going for it. He'll probably pick up the Soul Booster now. Roche has been taking a while. There's the zip in. They'll find Hanskid. BKB. Finger comes out as well. Hanskid. Glimmer caves up. They have detection. No. Meanwhile, call down. Roche is not dead yet. Jonas on the high ground. Looks like he got stuck up there somehow. He'll fall to the urn on the right click and the rocket barrage. And now Cloud9 will finish up this Roche. They're going to relocate up. They'll try to find Era. There's the Earth, but he falls instantly. That Blood Rage. Double-edged sword brings him down in the end. 65 seconds, no buyback available for him. Jonas is down for 78. He's got no buyback either. And they'll take Roche, Cloud9. After what was an iffy middle game, they've turned this on in the late game, and they're starting to push in, get some towers, and it looks like all they really need to do is take one more big fight, and that might be game for Cloud9.
Yeah, dude, that Blood Rage, you said it. That one lightning bolt from Zeus actually took out half his HP with the Blood Rage onto himself.
Not great.
Really, really difficult. As you mentioned, no double-edged sword. Sheep coming out for the Storm Spirit. Now he's got more mana regen, and now he's actually got a little bit of damage under his belt. But yeah, this is looking like the beginning of the end here for NiP. Nice fighting the chance that they gave in the early to mid game. Probably mid game, we could say. But it's really difficult to play around the Wisp plus the Lion. I would say the Misery has just really played well this game. Yeah,
I'd agree. I would call my MVP this game. Yeah, I think Cloud9, they saw the way this was going in the mid game, and they're like, all right, we have the longest average game length for a reason. Let's make sure we keep that stat up. Let's make sure we bring this game to 40 minutes at least. In all seriousness, though, they had a pretty solid mid-game. It fell apart a couple of times, but they're on the doorstep now. They're hitting up this melee racks. Bone 7 is in ages, for God's sakes. How are they supposed to bring him down? Last right click, there it goes. Melee racks used for pretty much nothing.
I think the Cloud9 can just go crazy and kill them all.
They'll try, and Fisher is blocking them off nicely. Bone 7's kind of stuck. The Octarine core is completed for Fata. That's frightening. And they'll back up together.
Oh, what sucks is he just used his ult before he got it, so it's going to have the longer cooldown.
Ah, well. That's not that long of a cooldown, though. I mean,
yeah, it's not that bad.
Like 80 seconds or something?
His Bloodstone deny goes down to 225. Much shorter than it used to be.
Oh, pretty freaking long, though, when you think about it. Anyway, it's 300 seconds at its norm. As you can see, Echoes, then they will find out Misery. They get the Yules up, though. Jonas gets text up Blood Rage. He is fought quickly, and Bone 7 will whittle him down within seconds. Arctic Burn going through Ares BKB, about to be done. Blood Rage is up, E-skill. Requiem's, but slowed up as well. Bone 7 is just going to work now. Meanwhile, Envy stands, and delivers, and that is GG. When it was ruptured, he just stood there, rocket barrage, and just took care of everything. 4 heroes dead. First game will go to Cloud9 in pretty convincing fashion, Ralph. I think it was a bit sketchy there, 30 minutes in, 20 minutes in, but they get it done in the end.
Yeah, I mean, they played it really well. They played around the Wisp lineup really well, and like I said, the the Lion pick was so good for Cloud9, just because they always had that instant cast Hex or initiation.